Okay, it's 9 o'clock. We're gonna get started. I'd like to welcome everybody here. If you got a phone, please put it on silent or vibrate. And Stan will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda?
No.
Okay, got a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have an agenda. First thing on the agenda is public comment. Comment limited to agenda items only and limited to 3 minutes per individual.
Supervisors. I'm going to be talking about the opioid settlement money. In light of executive order issued July 24th, number 14321, I would encourage the supervisors to watch for a drift and assure that there is no increase of civil commitments that rob people of mental illness and chemical dependency of their civil rights. It's a very useful tool in medicine to help make sure that people are being treated appropriately. But as of July 24th, it's being encouraged to be used to start using civil commitments to disappear people with mental illness and chemical dependency. I would also encourage you to make sure that any contracts you sign assure the civil rights for all persons of Washington County, and that it ensures that they have appropriate due process. The third thing is I would encourage you to consider not signing an exclusive contract, as our local hospital may be willing to do detox, and our local hospital is going to be at risk of losing Medicaid dollars and will be at risk of closing fairly, within the next 5 years. So I wouldn't sign an exclusive. So my advice would be not to sign an exclusive contract with any place like the organization that is now the Mecca people.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Move on to new business. First thing in new business is resolution 25-27 regarding Iowa State Association of Counties designation of voting representatives. Jack, I think you brought this to our attention, correct?
Well, it was sent to the county, I think county auditors and everybody throughout the state because of the requirements to keep the 501c3 designation for ISAC. And it had to do with identifying who was doing what within the organization. The only question I have is that under the county zoning officials of Iowa, we don't have any county zoning, this is true, but we do have at least two pieces of county zoning, and that's the subdivision ordinance and the floodplain ordinance. So I had sent a letter in, that's not a letter, I sent an email to try to find out what other counties have done on that situation, plus the situation of community services. We don't have community services anymore. That used to be under mental health and disability services. So I determined that since Carrie Rich represented the VA part of it, that she be a name for that. So we do have a subdivision coordinator, right? And we do have a floodplain coordinator. So I would say one or the other should be listed as a name for a voting spot as a county zoning official. We have a discussion about who we think it ought to be, and we can amend this right now.
Okay. So you have a suggestion on who is flood?
And I think we get more questions about subdivisions than we do about floodplain stuff. So maybe we should add Maya's name as the designated voting official for county zoning officials of Iowa. And I would make the motion to adopt Resolution 25-27, designating the voting representatives to ISAC, amending it to add Maya Talbert's name as the county zoning official, and to authorize the chair to sign.
Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, this will be a roll call vote. Stan?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jack?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Richard, yes. Motion carries 5-0. Next thing on the agenda is discussion and possible action regarding national opioid settlement with Purdue Pharma.
Does this mean they got the Holy Grail? I mean, these are the kingpins of the whole problem, are they? For the most part?
I think this is just another step.
Yeah.
Because the opioid settlement that they have entered into, that federally have entered into, it staggered the money that they were going to collect and staggered when it was going to be delivered. And this is just an agreement to say we have participated and we agreed to accept the money as the agreement specifies.
So specifically, it's $34.8 million to the state of Iowa. Do they know, did they provide how much Washington County would get from that? Do we know?
We do, and there's a link, but I can't tell you where that link is. I think I think the opioid participation rubric specifies how it's going to be distributed in Iowa. But as I said, I believe that this participation agreement is documentation that we would get our share of the money from the opioid settlement. And if we don't sign it, we don't get it.
That is true.
So I'll make a motion that we authorize the chair to sign the National Opioid Settlement with Purdue Pharma.
Okay,
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next thing is department head comments. Okay. Go around the room. Stan.
Well, had something sometime this week and I forget what it was. So carry on, go to somebody else, Richard.
Bob.
Last Thursday, I did East Central Iowa Housing Trust Fund. And I also sat in on Easy Cog in the office Friday, and I'll be in the office this Friday.
Okay. Jack.
The Board of Health meeting was held last Thursday at noon in their new offices, which is right next door. We discovered that if we have a full complement of board members and staff, and if we have any visitors, it's going to become a pretty cramped little room. So I think we are going to plan to hold public Board of Health meetings here in these spaces. So anyway, that was about it. That was my week.
Marcus.
Last Thursday, we had a update on construction projects. Building 2 being complete. We got a couple of really minor items there. A door handle, as far as I know, nothing major. Hopefully, I'm sure something else will come up. Those of you who are wondering, they're removing a gas meter out of this building, an old abandoned gas meter. That's what Alliance is doing here today. I didn't know about that until this morning. But just give everybody an update. The basement of the courthouse ran into some mold. I think that's been abated. It should have been done last Friday. I haven't been down there yet this week to get an update on that, but I know we're using the break room now that's designed for the future. So I know we're using that. We have temporarily using the backspace for the county attorney's offices, but as soon as the new space is done, they'll move out of there, and then hopefully we'll have that done. According to the schedule, we have the equipment that we need for the HVAC, which was one of the things that we were waiting on and not expecting to get for another couple weeks. But that is now in-house, so hopefully we'll be able to maintain that September 1 date. I believe it when I see it. I think we're probably going to be into September, but that's what we're pushing towards. I think that's all of that's going on in the basement. The engineer's building, footings are done. We've had some concrete that cracked, so we're trying to figure out the best way to handle that. It's not serious. It's very minor, but it's something that we're going to look into and make sure. That building has 16-foot by 16-foot by 4.5-foot footings under it. That's what the design called for. And they got these little bitty anchor bolts. I don't know. I thought it was hilarious, but anyway, craziness. But that's what they designed. That's what they're building. The building should start going up this week. So hopefully we'll start seeing some trusses and things heading up over on that building. Anticipated 3 or 3.5 weeks of building the shell, and then we should start working on the inside finishes. And then hopefully after that's done, or actually while that's going on, we'll be working on the east side of the existing building that we're doing a bump out on. That should update that. I've got DCAT meeting this afternoon at noon. They're having it in Richland today. First time they've moved it out of Sigourney for a while, so I might just go attend that one in person. I gotta put miles on the car anyway. But other than that, I think that's my week. I'll be in the office Thursday.
Okay. Well, I didn't have any meetings last week, so pretty quiet week for me, so I'll take a motion for adjournment. Second. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.